Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, the Boston Marathon and the state police team from Connecticut who will be running in the race in support of the charity Cops for Kids with Cancer. Joining me are two of the people who will be on the team that's going the distance tomorrow, Sergeant Casimira Morris and Trooper First Class Mark Roberts. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tomorrow's the big marathon. You're both holding medals. Hold those up first. Listen, if I had a medal, I'd hold that up right off the bat. You've done this before, run Boston. What's the experience like? I mean, you're a day away now. Are there nerves? Are you anxious? Sergeant Moore, start with that.
A little bit of nerves. It's such a historic event. This year is the 50th anniversary of women being able to actually run the Boston Marathon, so it's even more meaningful. So yeah, there's always a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of nerves going into it. It's race day, but it's such a great experience.
And Trooper, tell me about what this charity is. Cops for Kids with Cancer. What does that mean, and why do you support it?
Correct. So Cops for Kids with Cancer is a charity based, I believe, out of Massachusetts. They do great work for families who have children that find out that they, are battling the illness of cancer. So they basically raise funds for the families and help cover some of the ancillary costs that come up, such as, if a parent has to stay home as a result of this diagnosis. Or if there's any kind of health care or medical bills that can't be covered. Yeah,
I was looking up some of the information about the charity. They started in 2002. They've given out $4.1 million, $5,000 grants to people. Just, your kid is diagnosed. Obviously, your world is shaken by that. Maybe you got to make rent. Maybe you need to pay for some extra treatment. Maybe you need to stay in a hotel. Just give them that money and let them do it. Obviously, a great cause. What's the team? Do you run together? Does one of you beat everybody else and then laugh later? How do you work the team?
You want to take this one?
You outrank them, so you answer.
True. I think we try to stay together. Probably at the beginning we'll stay together a little bit, but I know he is a little bit faster than I am, so we'll all probably meet up at the end. So we kind of just do it as you feel, because 26.2 miles is a long way. So it's We'll stay together for a little bit, but we'll catch up at the end.
What's the experience like? I know 30,000 runners out there. Obviously, a historic course. You're gonna, pass some of those big milestones that everybody talks about with the Boston Marathon. Is it sort of a group effort between those 30,000 people to kind of drag everybody across that finish line?
Yeah, absolutely. The energy there is unlike any other. So we're really looking forward to tomorrow because, to your point, everyone carries each other along. Everyone supports each other. They all, rise to that occasion and realize how historic Boston really is, and be there and be present for that moment. And the energy is just unlike anything you've ever experienced.
I looked at the four members of your team, 20-year vet, 16 and 2 8s. So definitely some troopers with some experience getting out there and running. How did this team come about?
So it was something Mark kind of started back in 2015, correct?
Correct, yeah, 7 years ago. We were able to kind of rekindle that flame. The state police has always had a special connection with the Massachusetts State Police, as well as Cops for Kids with Cancer, dating back probably 10, 15 years now even. So to kind of rekindle that flame, reached out to the charity and said, hey, we want to get back into this and help you guys out. They, graciously accepted, and here we are. Now we've been trying to put together a team every year. Obviously, the pandemic put a halt to that for a couple of years, but we're happy to be back and raising money for their great cause.
Now, you had a goal of $4,000. You're over $5,000 already, and we said the grants are $5,000. So some family that's going to get a terrible phone call, you guys have put together enough to give them that grant, which certainly is a meaningful thing to have done. You got a day left. You hope we're going to give the web address at the end if people want to donate. Do you hope for like that last push?
Absolutely. We would love to not just benefit one family, we'd love to benefit two, and 3. So as much as anybody can give it, as much or as little, everything counts. It's definitely great.
And is there some meaning to the fact, you could just start a fundraiser. You could have come on here and said, listen, we want to raise money for Kids for Cancer, and people would have donated. But to go out there and do the running and to put the time in, to put in all the training, is that part of the deal here, is that you're actually giving the time and putting in the energy?
Absolutely, yeah. It's that motivation, right? It's the internal motivation to help others, and really just to see the work of our efforts reflected in in the work that in the funds that we can raise for the charity. So we're happy to go out there and do it,
now,
but it is an effort.
In my old morning show days, Scott Haney's joke always used to be, he won't even run for an election. So for people who are looking at this, they got up on this Sunday morning, Easter Sunday, they're drinking their coffee, and they're saying, I'm not running anywhere. Tell me about, there's got to be a big mental part too to getting through it. So do you have a strategy for pushing through, that exhausting process of 26.2? What's your strategy?
It's definitely exhausting. I mean, the training is really everything. That day, it's just the last 26.2 of that training. You're running hundreds of miles up to that point. So, like Mark said, the energy at the marathon is incredible. There's people lining from Hopkinton all the way into Boston. So that's really what pushes you through. And the mental toughness and hearing people yelling and screaming. We have our Connecticut State Police shirts that we're going to wear. So they actually call out to us, "Go Trooper, way to go, State Police." And so hearing that stuff just really pushes you along, and you kind of realize, I'm running the Boston Marathon. It hits you every once in a while. It gets a little bit emotional, but you realize that the finish line is there, and just to get there is one step, crawl, walk, run, whatever you can do to get to that finish line.
And what is it like when you get to that finish line, Mark? You get up there and you see it. I mean, it must just be a sense of relief to know there it is.
Yeah, when you make that left onto Boylston Street and you see the crowd there, and you see the words "finish" ahead of you, it's an unbelievable feeling just to know you've made it, and then B, that you've survived, and just you're ready for the party at that point if you can walk there.
There you go. That's an important qualifier. Yes. Listen, there's been so many reasons that police have been in the news for not great reasons over the past several years. So to have this fundraising and to maybe have our viewers be able to support you, make a couple extra donations, certainly a great thing. We want to show you how you can support Sergeant Morse and Trooper Roberts. If you want to take a look at this, we have the web address here. Now, they put this in the teleprompter, like I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read this. copsforkidswithcancer.org/ blah, 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 blah. That's what you got to write. Donation, Connecticut State Police Marathon Team 2022. That's a lot of words.
Yes.
We can't possibly read all that on television. So what we're going to do is link to it on our website. If you want to help Sergeant Casimir Morse and Trooper Mark Roberts, you can go to their website. You can still donate. The marathon is tomorrow. They'll be out there running, and they need you to help. Thank you both for being with us, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll let you know how they do. That is CT22 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley is coming up next, I'm trying to say. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.